welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka. It is a Friday, folks, if you haven't realized it yet. Thank God it's Friday. I've been doing a lot of karaoke. Okay, and welcome to the program. It is the 5th day of July, and the first weekend in the month of July is almost upon us. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Ryan.
First time to be with you. I'm so excited.
I know, right? First weekend.
And I also realized the cue sheet is just like my shirt.
Exactly.
I can disappear. I'll show that later. Anyway, good morning.
So good morning, Ryan. What do we have planned for today?
Well, actually, when I was first told about the topic for today's show, I was heavily unnerved, because if there are two things about me, I have no poise nor finesse. That's the word, yeah, grace. So this is the type of show where I would learn new things, hopefully, because we have two lovely ladies who will tell us about etiquette when it comes to different occasions that we will all be invited to one time or another.
Yes, I will two very, very special ladies.
Yes.
And one of them actually has been here with us before, so we're very excited to have both of them. Ryan?
Yes. We'll start off with the lady in red. I'd like to describe her today. She is a lecturer, verifier, hairdresser, beautician, and grooming consultant. I'd like to welcome into the studio Miss Shiru Vijamana. And also, she has a wide range of experience, in teaching and training in the field of personality development, leadership, business, social etiquette, grooming, hairdressing, and beauty therapy in both local and international education sectors. She holds a diploma from the Swiss Finishing School. She is currently the lecturer, trainer, and directress at the Swiss Finishing School in Colombo. A lot of things to describe our first guest. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am. Our next guest has been here with us before to discuss etiquette, and we had such a great time with her, and it was our great pleasure and honor to re-invite her onto the show. It's Miss Nidra Vikramasinghe. She is the Executive Director of the Nadisa Corporate Social Interaction and also founder and CEO of the Nadisa Finishing School. Ma'am, please come in. Miss Nidra Vikramasinghe.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. It's so nice to see you again.
Good morning, sir.
Just the way they walk in, totally unnerving. I'm like shoulders back, heads up high, and straight body, and now I'm suddenly in my head, do not slouch. So good morning, wonderful ladies. First, the definition of etiquette. How different is it from the standard good morals and right conduct? How different is that, and how is it properly defined?
Etiquette is a code of behavior. There are no set of rules as such, but if somebody asks me what is etiquette, I would always say it is the way that you get on with one another, and to be considerate, courteous behavior, and your good attitude towards the others.
It's a very good definition. So that can cross all cultural boundaries and countries?
Yes. Yeah. Now, if you ask me again, right, so etiquette will tell us which fork to take, and your manners will tell us when your neighbor does not. That's how it goes. And again, each culture has its own behavior, right? In one culture which is proper may be not proper in one culture.
Yeah. Very good.
Ma'am, what we want to do today on today's show is, because we had such a great time analyzing case by case so many of these situations that happen to us, we want to take 3 of the most common situations that people will definitely face in their lives. And the first one we want to take are parties. Basically, everyone, especially people in the corporate world, are always invited to parties. Now, especially cocktail parties, and there are lots of do's and don'ts that go with it. If you can first of all just outline to us what the do's are for a cocktail party.
Right. So, as I remember I told you last time that most amount of business interaction takes place in social environments.
Definitely.
And there are the do's for this whole thing is that one thing is cocktail parties are, there's a time. It's just 2 hours, right? Yes, 2 hours or a little bit more. But usually, you come at 7:30, I expect to go at 9:30. Sometimes they say 7:30 p.m. onwards. I'm afraid that lots of them make the mistake of overstaying.
Overstaying.
Yeah, I'm a little bit embarrassed sometimes when I see them. That's because of the
alcohol flow is so much, they are enjoying everything. Okay, so that is one thing. And sometimes, now see the hierarchy. When they are invited, they can pop in, pop out at any time, because they can't be there at 7:30. But the executives and the middle management, you know, when they are invited, they must actually be there on time. It's not only considerate, it's a smart executive who will actually go on time. So that if they go late, what happens is the receiving line is disbanded. Then the host will never know that you have actually come, and you perhaps may not even get the chance of making a presence known to them.
That's true.
So the receiving line, that is very, very important. That's there for 20 minutes. So I think, you know, up and coming young executives, they must be there on time. Right? And those are the and also something the don'ts is like, so you see, the very common thing is that sometimes, you know, cocktail parties in the evening, they may have not had time to have lunch. So most of them look forward to going and having, you know, indulging and eating. I mean, you actually can't have your dinner out there. You see, you can see them piling up their plates and serving and coming back and forth again, you know, to have, you know, plentiful of food. That also is totally out. Remember that if you are going to have alcohol, you must always have a bite at home, and so that you won't have substitute the food for a dinner. There's no dinner, right? And you mustn't appear to look greedy. You are not going. You have a first priority. First priority is to connect with people and mingle, and you are going to, you know, work and have a good time. But alcohol also is not the thing to take. I mean, you can actually restrict it. I would say that say if it is pre-dinner drinks followed by dinner, which is the main thing, I'm not talking about cocktail parties, you know, you actually can have a glass of cocktail or a glass of wine for pre-dinner drinks. Then one glass of whatever wine to accompany the main course, and something for dinner.
If I could just interject. Most of our viewers probably now are saying, I know an incident of such, I know a person. Is there a proper way of addressing the situation? Say one of the guests or even the host is getting a little bit out of hand probably when it comes to the etiquette of drinking and eating. Is there an ethical way of saying, I think you've had enough? Because most viewers are probably saying, I know someone who did that. I know an event that happened. Is there such a way of properly handling the situation?
Usually I've seen, I mean, last week I was at a weekend wedding celebration, and I think this husband was having one too many. And it was a private wedding, our wedding is private, and I saw the wife, you know, her face was really getting long and drawn, and she was in no mood to dance and drink, but it was a way. But, you know, when you go out for cocktail parties, you must always remember that you must behave with a professional demeanor. You see, you tend to relax because you're out of office. That is, but you can't let your hair down. You're always working, you're meeting people. So I must say that, you know, I get to go for some of these functions which my husband has always been in the corporate sector. And I had never seen at corporate doors, fortunately, you know, behaving that manner. As I told you, one incident where it was a wedding, but other than that, I'm quite happy that I haven't seen. But on the other hand, about some time ago, a certain, you know, bank, you know, where they have their clientele, you know, the upper echelon of society, so to speak. And I asked my relationship manager, so what time did the party end? Guess what? The last guest left at 1 o'clock. That is what happened. So that's what happened. You know, So you know, this was some time ago. This was. So I just made inquiry because I know that they never stick to the time.
So if you could tell us, like what Ms. Nedra was explaining, if these same rules apply also to a black tie event.
Yeah, it does. It does. Black tie, of course, it is formal, and there are, as she very correctly said, it is the most of the executives, and I think we just don't have to tell them how to behave, because they already know how to behave. And we have seen very few incidents that they take alcohol more. The same thing that Ryan asked. If we see something like that, if you're the host, of course, always we say, don't you think it's time for us to have dinner?
I see.
Yeah, it's very polite, and at the same time we're inclined, okay, you're too much now, it's time, right? So something like that. And again, now this kind of black tie dinner, it's always mostly it's 5-course dinner. So it's you are given 3 drinks, right? Always 2 drinks. Then everybody, like real gentlemen, they go there, they sit and they have, and at the table they have their wine, right? And then after dinner also, either they will have their cognac or they will have their port wine, right? That's how normally gentlemen behave, right? I have not seen many incidents that they go overboard.
Ma'am, I'm sure my question is, for someone who's been invited for the first time to a black tie or a very formal dinner, the simple tips that they need to remember, because seeing a full set of utensils in front of is unnerving, the 3 forks, the spoons. And also, my question, for those who don't drink, is there also a mannered way of saying to decline? Because normally it is part of a formal dinner, the beverage. Is there also a way of saying, you know, I'd rather have water?
Mean, people, those who don't drink, of course, there are mocktails. Right? And then also they can have just a drink, right? Maybe a soft drink, right? But at the same time, when they are invited for the first time, the first thing they have to do is, this invitation is formal. So therefore you got to read it in between lines and say, okay, there is a thing called RSVP or RSVP regrets only. So response please. So regrets only means you will have to tell them if you are not coming. That's the first thing. So black tie dinner itself says that you got to dress well. So they have already given the dress code, right? Okay, so you can, and at the same time, if you do not know, you can give a call, and because we get many telephone calls. Now, what is smart casual? What is black tie dinner? Right? So you can always ask from somebody if you really do not know, and if you are there for the first time. And when you go there, follow the others.